Schönen guten Tag, ich bin's Noah. Please excuse the gamer headphones. That's what happens when you send your husband and your children out to buy you headphones suitable for work. I look like a gaming granny, okay? So have a wee laugh at that and then we'll get on with things, okay? First of all, just to remind you that your homework, your first 5 questions from the Wollen wir uns kennenlernen sheet, shall we get to know one another sheet, they are due for today. So please get them to me as soon as possible. And I can spend many an hour marking them and getting them back to you, okay? And for next Monday, the next questions 6 to 10 are due as well, so do them for me for next Monday. Excuse me a second, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to carry on with them for next week, and I'm going to start off with the first theme of the higher course, and it's to do with describing yourself and describing others. Now, we've done this before. We did it in second year. We described people as faul, we described people as freundlich, we described people as lustig, we described people as intelligent. But what we need to do is we need to now work on that and build on that, inflate the vocab. Now, we did it in S4 as well, and you talked about friendships and describing people and what words you would use to describe them. And what we want to do now is we want to take that to the next level and work on that again. A wee bit of revision of fourth year, but also some building on that for the higher. Okay, so I would like you to, if you can, dig out your higher vocab for friendships. If not, think about adjectives that you would use to describe a friend. Okay, and I want you to write down 5 adjectives in English. Think of a friend or a family member or a teacher or somebody famous. It doesn't matter who it is. You should all have a best friend or a few best friends by now. If you can't pick your favourite, then what to do is pick somebody famous or pick a member of your family. And what I would like you to do is I'd like you to write down 5 adjectives to describe that person. Okay, and I want you to write them in a wee, save this all in a Word document. I'd like you to write them down in a Word document, and I'd like to write them down in English on one side and then try and find out the German on the other side, okay? Find out as many as you can. If you can't find one out, then put a wee question mark beside that, and I can help you. When you send it in to me, I can help you with the word that you're looking for, okay? Doesn't have to be complicated, but let's stay away from words like freundlich and intelligent. These are easy words, okay? They're not really the level we're looking for. We're looking for words that don't look like the same as the English. We're not looking for cognates. We're looking for words that are that just show a higher level of German, okay? So take a wee minute to pause this and write down 5 adjectives to describe somebody in your family or a friend or a famous person. So pause this and do that just now for me. When you've done them in German, then write them in English. Should take you about 10-15 minutes to do that. So pause this and then we'll go on as for the next one. Okay, the second task I want you to do is I want you to do the same thing, but this time I would like you to write down 5 adjectives to describe you. Imagine you're filling in a dating profile, or you're filling in an application for going on a trip with other people of your own age, and you really want to sell yourself. How would you describe yourself? There's nothing wrong with being shy. There's nothing wrong with being quite kind of reserved. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and sometimes you're best to be honest about things. I know I'm always saying to you telling lies is okay, but if you're going in something like an adventurous holiday or something, you want to be as honest as you can. So this time write down 5 adjectives to best describe yourself. Now some of them might overlap from what you've just done, but try and think of other ones as well to make it another list of vocab words. Okay, not just the basic ones, remember, the more difficult ones. Okay, so spend a wee 5-10 minutes doing that. Pause the video again and spend 5 or 10 minutes doing that wee exercise. Okay, what I'm going to do with you now is I've made up a wee worksheet about friendship, and I'm just going to go through it with you. There are some exercises to do, so what I'm going to do is just go through it with you, and then I'll set you on the tasks. Okay, so here's how you first you write about a best friend. Okay, this vocab, as I say, is from S2. Some of you might have used in S4. The words that I put a wee star beside, you'll see that there. Put a wee star beside certain words, and that means these words are still okay to use. Okay, you can still use intelligent, you can still use fleißig, you can still use faul. I'm using these words because they're not the same as English. Schüchtern is a perfectly good word to use. Okay, now I'm just going to go through these words so that you can hear the pronunciation of them. Okay, the first one, faul, fleißig, intelligent. Watch your hard G sound there. Okay, doof, musikalisch, schüchtern, laut, sportlich, freundlich, ernst, frech. Now the ones down here are the very basic ones. I took them from the second year list, so they're the very basic ones. You've got jung, alt, groß und klein. Okay, now as I said before, the words marked with a wee star are still okay to use at higher level, but we always at higher level want to make sure that we use quantifying words, and these are the words that are listed down below. I'll just zoom down and you can see them. Okay, so these quantifying words are words that just add a wee bit of strength to a sentence. Okay, for example, you've got the word manchmal, okay, which is sometimes, immer, always, ziemlich, quite, ein bisschen, a bit, ab und zu, which is just now and again, selten, seldom or rarely, okay, niemals is never, and gar nicht means not at all. Okay, so I could say to you a sentence about myself, for example, ich bin manchmal ernst, aber ziemlich witzig. Okay, I am sometimes serious, but quite witty. Okay, I could say, for example, ich bin immer sarkastisch und niemals schlechter Laune. That would mean I am always sarcastic and never in a bad mood. Not necessarily true, I do have my off days, okay? So I've given you an example there. Meine Freundin, obviously that's a girl. If we were going to write about a boy, it would be mein Freund. But the rest stays the same. Ist immer hilfsbereit und geduldig. My friend, and it's a male friend, is always helpful and patient. Can you think of a friend that would fit into that category? You might have a friend that just fits into that category, whether it's meine Freundin or mein Freund. If you get a friend who's always helpful and patient, okay, have a wee think about that and see if you can think of anybody that fits into that category. Even a member of your family might fit into that, okay? Now, I want you to have a wee look at the next section here, and I want you just to get on with this. And I want you to translate these into good English. By good English, I mean you sometimes might have to massage the order that the words come in the sentence, and you might have to change them slightly to make them sound right. If things don't sound right when you translate them, the chances are they're not going to be right. Okay? So the sentences are: Ein guter Freund soll immer verträglich und manchmal witzig sein. Number 2. Eine gute Freundin soll ziemlich verständnisvoll und immer ehrlich sein. Ein guter Freund soll ein bisschen geduldig und immer hilfreich sein. And number 4, eine gute Freundin soll niemals ungeduldig und gar nicht böse sein. Okay, the word soll, it's got a wee star beside it, it just means should. So a good friend, or a good friend, whether it's a boy or a girl, should be blah blah blah. And that's how you would translate. And you'll need to use your dictionaries to help you, because you might not know words like verträglich and you might not know words like böse, but you should be able to work out what they mean. And I want you to spend 10-15 minutes translating them into good English. What I would suggest would be you copy the sentence in German into your jotter and then write the English underneath. That means later on, when it comes to writing about a particular person or a particular trait that you find important in a friend, you can go back to this and you can see and take the vocab straight from what's there. Okay, there's no point in making it up if it's always already there for you. Okay, so pause the audio and you can have a wee go at that exercise numbers 1 to 4 in your daughters in English, and then in German rather, and then straight underneath that in English. Okay, so pause the video and get on with that. Okay, what makes a friend special? What makes them stand out from other people? Okay, I would like you to match up these sentences again. I don't want you just to write number 1 C, number 2 B. Okay, I would like you to look at the sentences and see if you can match up the German statements with the English meanings in the next slide and write them as a vocab list in your jotter. Again, they will come in very useful in the future when you're using the information to write about the traits of a good friend or something you look for in a particular person. Okay, so there are 9 of them altogether. You'll see the German and you'll also see the English there. Okay, so pause the video and go through that. That might take you about half an hour to do, so give yourself plenty of time to do this. Remember, you've got the rest of the week to finish this off. This is just me giving you the work and talking you through it just now. There's no particular emphasis that you get this finished today. You should get through quite a lot of it today. Anything you don't finish, just like in class, anything you don't finish on the day, you would just do for the next day and get it to me as quickly as possible. If you want to get it to me next Monday, that's fine. If you want to get it done and get it back as soon as possible, that's also fine. Okay, so if we move down onto the next bit then, okay, I want you to have a wee look at this. It's your turn now. You'll need to pick a boy or a girl to write about, as these change obviously depending on the gender of the person, male or female, that you're describing. Okay, write as much as you can and use any vocab you've seen in the previous exercise to help you do this. This can be, as I say, a friend, it can be somebody at school, it could be a teacher, it could be a famous person, member of your family, it could be your granny or grandpa, it could be anybody at all, it doesn't matter. Okay, and all I would like you to do is write as much as you can about the description of that person. Okay, and I've given you some ideas. I've written down mein bester Freund. You could write down mein Bruder or meine Schwester or mein Onkel, meine Tante, mein Deutschlehrer or mein Sportlehrer. It could be anybody at all. And because you're talking about one person, this word here will stay the same. Whether you're talking about a friend, a teacher, a gran, a grandpa, an uncle, a brother, it doesn't matter. This word will always stay the same because it's the word that you use after one person, whether it's my best friend or my best friend if it's a girl or meine Schwester, this word will always stay the same. Obviously, if you're writing about a boy, you're going to use or a man, okay? And there's again. And then if you're writing about a girl, a female teacher or a female friend or an aunt or a sister, you're going to use sie. But you'll see this word here, wohnt, also stays the same because you're talking about one person, one friend, one family member, and that's the part that goes with the or the sie part of the verb. Now I've given you a very, very brief bit of writing here, and the reason why I've done the dotted lines here is because it's not finished. I want you to write down as much as you can. If you want to tell me what colour their hair is, what colour their eyes are, what they like doing, it doesn't matter. Tell me as much as you can about the particular person that you're talking about. Okay, so that's your wee ongoing task to do that and write down as much as you can for me and work on that over the week. Okay, so I also came across this here, and I'll put this on Google Classroom. This is something you may have come across in fourth here, and it's a wee bit of writing. You'll get some ideas on here as well. Okay, and it tells you, excuse me, excuse me, give you some information on here about what you could write about. Writing about a friend or a person. Here's a wee bit here about where they live, colour of eyes, okay, and that maybe will just give you, for example, a conclusion. Why is he or she your best friend? And you could say she or he is my best friend because, okay, and this I'll put on your Google Classroom. Excuse me. And you can have a look at that as well on there. Okay, so I'll pop that on the Google Classroom. Okay. Another thing I came across, and just bear with me a wee second, is something a wee bit fun to do for next week. And I want you just to have a wee look at this for me for next week. And let's have a wee look for this and see if we can find this. Okay. It's a big virtual quiz, and it's maybe something you could do as a family rather than just doing it on your own. Okay. And it's all quite good fun when it comes up. Okay, it's called Welcome to the German Pub Quiz, and it's something that you could do with your parents or your family members, and it's all things German. Now there are certain categories. The first one is German geography. Now if your geography is anything like mine, then it might not be great, but you have done countries. Okay, I don't want you to do this bit here that you have to write down whether it's West Germany or East Germany, okay? Just if you can write down the areas of Germany, it's not cities, it's an area of Germany, it's a province. So I want you to go through and see if you can find out what these are. You need to get a map to help you and see if you can find out what these are. When you've done that, for an extra point, what I would like to do is I'd like to write down the main city. These areas have all got main cities in them. They're almost like capital cities in that particular area, okay? And they'll be indicated on any kind of map. And I want you to write down, unjumble the region and write the main city in that region. Okay, so there's 8 of them altogether. The next one is regional food. Okay, can you write down what foods these are? Now you might need to Google these and see if you can find out the German names. Okay, some of them are quite straightforward. Some of them you might even have had before. Okay, so I want you to go through and write down the food, and then it says here, write down at least 2 important ingredients for these items of food. Okay, any 2 important ingredients. This is not a test. You will have to use your dictionaries, and you are more than welcome to do so. Okay, you might actually surprise yourself and remember more than you think that you can. Okay, so there's 5 of them. Sorry to make you hungry, but there's 5 of them. The next one is famous people. Now you might need some help with these. Okay, so you should maybe recognise a few of them. There are 6 altogether. And what I would like you to do is to write down the name of the famous German person, or Swiss or Austrian. Okay, the famous person, and write down where they were born. Were they born in Deutschland? Were they born in Österreich? Or were they born in der Schweiz? If I move that down, okay, then it's going to be either in Deutschland, in Österreich, or in der Schweiz. You write beside them where they were born. Okay, again, you might need some help with that because it's fairly tricky. Okay, next one's quite a good one. There are 5 German songs to listen to. Okay, and I want you to play the song. It'll connect you onto YouTube. Play the song, and then write down the name and the singer for each song. Might be surprised. I listened to a couple of them. They're actually better than I thought they were going to be, so they're quite good songs. Okay, and there are 5 of them altogether. And then for a wee bonus exercise, can you connect the songs to the correct century? Or the correct, not the century, the correct decade? Can you connect them all up? Which one? There's one that's obviously very up to date. It's 2020. Okay, can you connect them to the right year? Okay, was it 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, or 2020? Okay, which decade did they come from? You might know some of them already. Okay, but this one here is very, very tricky. I don't mind if you miss this one out. These are wee sayings in Germany. Like, for example, you would say, for example, if you were, I'm trying to think of one now. Under pressure, I can't think of one. We would say things like, for example, oh, I couldn't care less, or I don't care at all, I don't give a hoot what you think, okay? These are all phrases we use, and they don't translate word for word into a different language, but different cultures and different languages have different versions of these. So these are wee things. Even if you kind of try and get an idea of what they actually mean directly translated, we can chat about them later and we can see if we can work out what they're saying. Okay, so have a wee look for words with capital letters. They might give you a wee idea of what they're looking for. Okay, and they won't make sense if you translate when you translate them word for word, but we have to try and see if there's anything similar that we use in English. Okay, now that's a wee fun thing to do. You don't have to go on and do that today. Today I would like you to work on your friendship, and when you've finished that, then you can go on with the next questions 6 to 10 of your getting to know you questions. Any problems, please let me know. Pause this video at any point, take as long as you need to do the exercise. I will be online between 2 o'clock and 20 to 3. No, 20 to 4. I'll be on at that point. If there are any questions, any difficulties, any technical issues, I will put what I want you to do on the Google Classroom, just in case you can't access this video, and that means you'll have it. You just won't be able to see my dodgy headphones and hear my voice, but everything else should be okay. Any problems, get in touch, and hope it all goes well. Also, bis dann. Tschüss!